Hi guys, it's album review time. Another banger album. I've reviewed two albums today, check them both out, but this one, man, as well. Striker Ultra Power. Canadian metal band, been going quite a few years now. This is the 7th album from this amazing band. It's coming out on Record Breaking Records. It's a bit of confusion on the release date. So a lot of sites are saying the 19th of January. The promo that got sent to me is saying the 2nd of February. So not long apart from those dates, but I'm not 100% sure if it's coming out this Friday. It might do, but you got to check it out whenever it comes out. The last album, Play to Win, in 2018 was just amazing. So it's hard to describe this band. They're definitely in the rock and metal genre, for sure. That goes without saying. But the elements that they bring into their music, man, one of the most interesting listens you will have this year, and one of the best albums you had this year. So I've already done, like I said, done another review this year saying it's going to be top albums of the year. There's no doubt this one will be. It's just, man, I'm blown away by this album. Smiling from ear to ear. And I you know what, this is why, and I said it on the last review as well, I love rock and metal so much. Just when you think, like, you know, you've heard it all, along comes Striker. And they just give you everything. And they exceed in everything. Amazing musicians, amazing songwriting, such clever songwriting as well. Something that will, you know, there was an album that came out which made my top album of the year last year. And that was Spirit Adrift. And I said that that's an album that you can imagine yourself listening to, you know, in years and years, like you used to. Some of these 80s albums that come on in your car now, and you can listen to them time and time again because they were so good. You never get tired of them, and they become a staple for the rest of your life. I've got to say, man, this feels like that. It feels like that. And I've listened to this twice now, and I am like, man, I uncover so much on this album as well. It's all catchy and melodic, by the way. Don't think that it's some sort of weird progressive album. And there's even little proggy elements, but you'll get to know what I mean when I go through this album. But they've tried to cover so much on this album by always keeping in that, you know, that hard rock and metal genre. There's a bit of AOR. There's a bit of speed metal. There's a bit of glam metal, a little bit of thrash metal, a little bit of like traditional metal, even a little bit of hardcore. Not so much on that. I'll explain that in a little while, but don't get frightened away, because if I read that a hardcore album, it's not a hardcore album. There's like slight element of it in one song, but even that song is just mind-blowing, and what they do with it. It's such an original and unique band. Amazing stuff. So they're on fire as well. As far as musicianship is concerned, technical ability, I've already mentioned the songwriting, but man, some of the top-notch musicians, these guys are the best of the best of the best. I'll get on with that in a minute. I actually come out with that one, believe it or not. You'll know what I mean. That is a joke in a minute. So Dan Cleary on vocals, just a really cool vocal. And you know, I think I've not listened to Striker intently, like every album. I know it off by heart, but I've listened to the last couple, and I've listened to bits and pieces of the earlier albums. Great vocalist, this guy, but if it's the same vocalist, I can hear improvement on every album, and now he's like just a top-notch vocalist. I mean, practice makes perfect, and I think he's just got better and better and better. He's an amazing vocalist that fits this band perfectly. Love his vocals. Then you've got Tim Brown and John Simon Fallon on the guitars. One of the first things, you know, Striker fans might mention, if you said to them, like, do you know Striker? They would say, yeah, and the guitar work is just fucking amazing. Man, it is just mind-blowing across this album. These guys are gifted. Believe me, there's some of the best guitar work you'll hear ever across any genre. They are top-notch. It's just, there's twin leads, there's blistering solos, there's shredding, there's melodic parts. It's just, whoa. The guitar work alone is enough to purchase this album. And you've got Pete Klassen on the bass and John O. Webster on the drums. I mean, if you're going to have some of the best guitarists and vocalists in the world, you've got to put in one of the best rhythm sections in the world, ain't you? These guys, man, they just match each other for brilliance. Everything about this band is amazing. Also, I've said before in my reviews that I will talk about my favourite tracks Every track is going to be spoken about in this review because it's, again, it's an early all-killer album. It's amazing. So we kick off with the first track, the amazing Circle of Evil. This is sort of medium to fast paced, very heavy. This was a single. Metal at its best, man. The frenetic verses that are filled with so much energy lead to this like stomping chorus. 2 rounds of that, and then you're onto the first shred of the album. And the solos never disappoint. Like I said, they are just jaw-dropping, and it seems like the song has lasted like a minute and it's ended. It's that good. You're like, what the fuck happened there? It's just like, it's a brilliant opener. And then we move on to best of the best of the best. Best of the best of the best! Oh, I love this track. It makes me smile as well. Another single and another amazing song. I love the way the heavy guitars are mixed with this sort of 80s synth vibe going on. There's a couple of tracks on here. I like to call this Carpenter metal. It's like metal music mixed with Escape from New York soundtrack, like listening to a John Carpenter film. It's just amazing. It's so good. The chorus puts a huge smile on my face, and it's probably the title of the year when it comes to a song, I reckon. It just makes me laugh, and it just proves as well, I don't know if you've ever seen these guys' videos, their sense of humour is just off the charts as well. They're not just brilliant, serious musicians, but they've got a really great sense of humour as well. So this is the third track, Give It All. We're gonna go until we It's actually a new single. It's just been released, and I would have done a reaction, but I've already heard the song, and it's got to be a true reaction, isn't it? And I must admit, if this was a reaction, it'd have blown me away, just like every other one of their songs. It's an 80s melodic riff, kicks in with a saxophone. Yep, they've done that before, by the way, on a track a couple of years ago. Use a saxophone and it fits it perfectly, and we get the most melodic side of this brilliant, brilliant band. No matter what the band turns their hand to, it's like the best of that genre. So if they do a little bit of melodic rock, it's the best melodic rock song you hear. If they do thrash, it's the best thrash song you hear. It's like they exceed in everything. This is pure guitar driven AOR, and it's as good as the best AOR honestly you've ever heard. Somehow the band sort of throw a sax with heavy guitars in and it fits so well. Or am I just getting old? That might be the case, I don't know, but this is what makes this band stand head and shoulders above most bands. They just exceed in everything they do. Blood Magic is the next song. An intro sort of starts with this, sounds like a spaghetti western movie or something. Imagine Clint Eastwood walking in and Lee Van Cleef or something. And we have a neck breaking riff kicks in, and we hit a brilliant sort of multi-tempo track. You get fast parts, you get medium parts. It's brilliant. A track that somehow mixes metal, melodic hard rock, speed metal, and maybe a little prog, all in one, but works just brilliantly. A solo that makes your jaw just hit the floor. The synth work here just works so well, mixed in with all the heaviness in this track. Sucks to Suck. This is the next track. Like I said, great sense of humour with this band as well. A song that's just filled with attitude. I suppose this is the track that is a slight foray into hardcore. I mean, it's got that attitude, that punky attitude and edge, but it also feels like a new wave of British heavy metal song to me. It's adrenaline-filled music that just filled with fun, spit and attitude. It's brilliant. And then we go on to Be Ready for Anything. Oh, I love this track. It's a medium to fast-paced monster of a track. An excellent classic metal riff kicks off, and the groove is just up to the max on this song. I just got lost in the brilliance of this track. I really did, as they throw in some almost thrashy parts, but make it a hard rock track at the same time. Is there any other band that can give you so much in a track, but it just flows so well? I'm not sure. I really ain't. I know there are bands like that, but so original, yet somehow familiar as well. Brilliant stuff. City Calling is the next one. How do I describe this one? We have a bit of 80s pop, bit of synth wave, and melodic hard rock all mixed into one song. This song is just amazing. It's at this point in the album that I really don't know what to expect for the rest of the album. I'm thinking, right, what's next? We've had all this so far, and the funny thing is, it all fits, like I said, so perfectly and seems so natural as well. The target audience is hard rock and metal for sure, but they give you so much more than that. Catchy, memorable, and so fucking original. Turn the Lights Out is the next track. A shredding riff kicks this one off in this 2.5 minute brilliant track. It's in your face, gang vocal, anthemic excellence. It's like an 80s melodic rock Sunset Strip band collaborating with like a Bay Area thrash band at the same time. It's brilliant. Catchy, so heavy, and so to the point. Thunderdome is the next track. Maybe not a homage to Mad Max, I'm not really sure, but a huge thunderous track that has some strong 80s elements for sure. So the verses just build up for something special. Then there's a really sort of strange sort of a bridge to the chorus. It's sort of like stop-start, but then it just works its way to my favourite chorus of the album. I don't know if it's emphasised by this start-stop, like great songwriting, clever songwriting, but when it hits the chorus, and believe me, this album is full of chock full of brilliant choruses. So to be my favourite chorus, this is amazing. One of the album's many standouts. Live to Fight Another Day is track 10. I get a bit of that 80s sort of pop feel again, sort of experimenting with those slight synth pop elements. The guitars take a bit of a step back as the synths are sort of brought forward with some gorgeous backing vocals at the forefront. Don't get me wrong, this is still a melodic hard rock track. That's emphasised as we get another brilliant but almost simpler solo. Fits so well by this band's standard, by the way. I'm saying it's simple by this band's standard. A brilliant song that could easily, sort of like many tracks on this album, be a single. And then we hit hard with the last track, Brawl at the Pub. Like I said, sense of humour, amazing. The straight up metal elements of this brilliant band close the album off on this fun-filled track. Squealing guitars, slightly thrash elements. The song lyrics are pretty fucking funny. This band have a great sense of humour, like I said. Just check their videos out if you want to, see that. A brilliant 80s inspired metal track that does what it says on the tin. A very cool closer. So guys, this is Striker. This is Ultra Power. I'm just blown away by this album. I'm really looking forward to it coming out proper, listening to it in my 2024 playlist. I think every time a song comes on on my playlist this year, I'm going to be like, yeah, fuck yeah, that goes up. It's one of them. It really is amazing. The layers that this band give you, that you'll be peeling back through the year. Whoa, I can see this on a lot of lists at the end of this year. A lot of channels into like this melodic hard rock and metal putting this at the top of their list, because it's not just the playing, it's the songwriting, which is the main thing. So this is out on the 19th of January, I think. It could be the 2nd of February. Hopefully the band, watch this video. I will send it to them and they can put in the comments below the actual date it's coming out. It might already be out by the time I actually upload this video, but man, you guys have got to check this out. You're going to love this. I know there's a lot of love for Striker anyway. They are brilliant. Let me know if you're going to get the album in the comments below, please, guys. And I'll see you soon.